Today I'm announcing the winner of the Legacy Dragon Dagger!
Hi, I'm Serena Vincent and you're watching Airlim.
So I ran a competition about the Legacy Dragon Dagger from A1 Toys. They were very nice to donate one so I could give one away to you guys. And after such a long time, I have chosen a winner. Well, technically the comments selector chose a winner, but before I jump straight to who the winner is, I'm going to be talking about the other ones that I actually really liked, and also their username, so it's kind of shout outs as well. First of all, we have Chris Williams, who said, "My favourite Power Rangers moment has to be a Zeo beginning. It was a real make or break moment for the series overall, and with new costumes and a new enemy, it was a real tear away from MMPR with new costumes, weapon and Zords. Zeo really was a season stronger than before." And I really like that because Zeo was my favourite series. It's the one that stands out the most because when I was younger, it was like the command centre blowing up. And I remember waiting on that day, seeing it and wanting to know more, and then when suddenly Zeo came, I was like, wow, this is an amazing season. I love the Rangers, and the Gold Ranger is always going to be one of my favourite Rangers, if not the favourite Ranger. The next one is from BID Studios, and they say, "My favourite moment in Power Rangers history was really hard to choose, but if I was to choose one moment that really stands out in my mind, it is the Eric and Wes scene during the Time Force finale. The reason I chose this scene is not because I want to sound deep, but because it pulls at my heartstrings every time I watch it. I love that this scene really shows the difference between the two characters and ultimately carries the message that we are one in the same. It just gets me." And to be honest, Time Force is one of the series that I do enjoy. I haven't seen it for a long time, but the kind of the thing between Wes and Eric was just kind of like, I don't know, I would always see it as kind of alpha males. Like you had Wes, who was kind of the leader of Time Force, because we all know Jen was, and then Wes came in and he had such a struggle. I think I quite like from the whole Time Force is when he's actually got that burden to the little girl. I think that is one of my most memorable moments from Power Rangers Time Force, but I really liked the kind of like the headbutting between Wes and Eric, and then suddenly at the end they become friends, and you know, they become partners, and they just become awesome characters, even more than what they were before. The next comment is from Daniel Balding, and I hope I got that right, and he says, "My favourite moment in Power Rangers is from Power Rangers in Space, the final episode. I had seen every series, the movies, everything, but that final episode really made me cry. It was the moment that Zordon sacrificed himself to save the Rangers and the galaxy from the Machine Empire, Zed, Rita, Divatox, Astromina, and so on. The music was chilling and perfect for the scene, and in that moment, as Andros was forced to shatter the tube that Zordon resided in, I even called out in disbelief. This was a pitiful moment for me because it taught how important it is to sacrifice for the greater good, for others, for your friends, family, and to always do what must be done to help others. I was always attracted to the show and characters, which was a part of my Asperger's, and in the moment, I couldn't believe what had happened. Rangers and leaders have come and gone since, but there have been none like Zordon, and will none be like him. That's my favourite moment in any series, and the most memorable, I think." And to be honest, that the last two episodes of the Power Rangers in Space was actually, I think, still one of the best ones, because it had so many characters, and the one, again, Zordon was like, yeah, just destroy me, or just like release the energy from my tube, and oh my god. And to me, this was actually a good memorable moment, because you've had this entire series that is like trying to find Astromina, and then you've got Zordon, and suddenly Zordon's like, this is the only way of doing it, and then boom, it's like shattering, and it's like, wow, you know, it took a lot of guts, I think, for that particular one, and it is a very good moment. Travis B wrote, "Wow, this is really hard. I would say during Dino Thunder, where Tommy has to fight himself as Zero Red, and then MMPR White, and then finally MMPR Green, it's just a great shout back to the characters I grew up watching, and it was a great fight sequence." And I have to agree, I do like it. I was gutted that they didn't put Red Turbo in there, because I think that would have really made something, but obviously the most iconic characters you have is, you know, the Green Ranger, the White Ranger, and the Red Zeo Ranger. These are the ones that really stand out. I have to say that this was good. I liked that episode. I'm not a huge fan of Tommy, but that episode really stuck out in the whole of Dino Thunder, and I really like the fact that at the end he was able to go Super Dino mode to actually destroy the bad guy. And yeah, it's one episode that I highly recommend, as well as the entire series, because Dino Thunder is amazing. 619 Patches says, "I absolutely loved it when Bulk and Skull found the strength in themselves to lead the people of Angel Grove to rebel against Astromina and her quadrillions, I think I said that right, in the final series of In Space. The transformation of these guys from high school bullies to cops to detectives, and then to this amazing moment. Huge character development for the characters that aren't even Rangers. Besides that, one time in their dream, LOL. I have to say, yeah, Bulk and Skull characters, when I originally saw them, to me, it wasn't that great, because you kind of think that it was typical high school. You had the bully, and obviously you kind of wanted to do that to your bullies. There's stuff that happened, throwing pies, you know, just everything. And then obviously when they grew up, and that moment when Bulk and Skull turned around and said that they wanted to be like cops, and everyone's like, what? I like that, and I do love the character progression, even all the way up to Samurai when Bulk was in that one. But you saw so much, and it took a lot for Bulk and Skull to lead the people of Angel Grove against that. And again, it reminds me a lot of Spartacus, where you have one person standing up saying, "I am Spartacus, no I am." Before I announce the winner, I just want to say a huge big thank you to everyone who entered the competition. Your memories of the show, it literally blew me away when I was reading them. This was amazing, and at the end of this video I'm going to share my favourite moment and what it meant to me. And now, the winner of the Legacy Dragon Dagger! Don't know why I did it like that. I don't know why my accent changed. And the winner is Marco Brown. I'll be contacting you very shortly to get your details via Facebook, because it's a lot easier, and I'm now going to read out your comment. There is a scene which means a lot to me as a fan. In Return of an Old Friend Part 1, when Billy is under the Dremel spell and holds the stolen Dragon Dagger to Goldar, I was a 9-year-old kid, never knowing about Power Rangers, and suddenly flicking through the channels, there was suddenly a gold guy, grey guys, and multicolored people. That then led into the scene where Goldar taking the power coins and the Rangers demorphing, and suddenly there were 5 people. To a 9-year-old, it made a lasting impression. So much that I remember being late for school the Monday morning when the second part was shown on GMTV in the UK. To this day, I am forever a Power Rangers fan because of that scene, because of that episode, having collecting the figures and Zords, got rid of them, having collected them again, this time as a collector, having a huge collection of unboxed Rangers and Morphers and Zords, and spending thousands on recollecting all of the originals I had as a kid. Now as a 31-year-old, having most of the toys I had when I was that age, having introduced the series to my nephews and all the toys now they have, through all the scenes that came after, through all the Rangers and the actors that followed Mighty Morphing, and the original cast and the original series are still dear to me as much as they were back then. And now, less than 2 months away from attending a convention in Glasgow with Steve Cardenas as Rocky and Azim as the Black Megaforce, I feel that excitement again as I had as a 9-year-old. All thanks to Return of an Old Friend Part 1 and that scene of Billy with the stolen Dragon Dagger. I really like this comment. It showed that the Power Rangers will always have a lasting impression, and I guess whenever you watch a TV show as a kid, that show will always stand out. So Marco, I will be sending out your Dragon Dagger very soon, and I'll be contacting you to get your details. It has been opened due to the review, but it's such a beautiful item. I really hope you enjoy it, and yeah, I just want to say thank you very much. And I want to say again, thank you to everyone who entered this competition. This is something big that I've never really done before. I remember my first giveaway, which was which was an ebook. But this one I really like doing. So again, thank you A1 Toys, thank you again to everyone who entered, and yeah, I hope to do some more later on in the future. So my kind of favourite moments is in Power Rangers Zeo. Or to be honest, it was the end of Mighty Morphing. I remember when I was younger, I was at a wedding, and I think I was just a guest, and when I'm a kid, I can't normally remember a lot when I was a kid, but because of this one memory, I can remember pretty much most of that day. So, when Power Rangers was on, I saw the destruction of the command center, and I was shocked because the command center had blown up. You know, the Rangers had just teleported out, and I was just there watching, like, oh my god, I couldn't take my eyes away, because this one place that I'd always been told that was safe, that was always for the Rangers, had been destroyed, was just gone completely. And then on that day, I remember being in Glasgow and looking out at the rain, and I was thinking on what could happen. Was this the end of the Power Rangers? Were we going to see more? What happened to Zord and Alpha? And when you're around about that age, I can't remember how old, you know, that was the main thing that was stuck in my mind. I remember when Power Rangers Zeo was going to be coming out in the UK, we had a lot of promotional stuff from Frosties, we had stickers, we had little figures, and I remember my grandma being in a hospice. Now, hospice, very briefly, is a place that looks after the elderly. The one that she was in was not a very good place, and I remember getting these stickers, and I remember showing my grandma being so excited that Power Rangers was carrying on. It was Zeo, and I couldn't stop talking about it. I was like, oh my god, what's this? This is this. Oh my god, the Blue Ranger. You know, I was so excited, and I think that my parents and my grandparents were at the time like, yay, and they're like, oh, he's talking about it. But I was so enthusiastic about it. Then when the series started, I couldn't stop watching. I really enjoyed it. And then suddenly the Gold Ranger came in. That iconic scene when they're fighting the monster, and then suddenly, is it Wolfbane, I think? And then they look up, and then the Gold Ranger is there. He's doing his moves, and oh my god, I just, that moment stuck in my mind so much. And the whole mystery of the Gold Ranger, who could it be? I thought it was Billy for so long. And I love the way that they turned around and they said, look, you know, this is what's happening, and it led up to that thing. And then when Jason came back, well, Austin St. John, when he came back as Jason, I was just like, oh my god, this is amazing. And Zeo is the one thing that will always stick in my mind. I kind of wish they did something different with the last episode, rather than making the Rangers big. I kind of would like this whole massive, like, full-out war with the Zords and everything. But the whole series just really made it for me. I just liked Zeo so much because Gold Ranger was what it was. You had something that they never tried, and I think that was a good time to change the suits to make a lasting impression. When obviously they skipped Die Ranger, but they had the White Ranger. He was okay coming in, but Zeo to me will always remain in my heart. It's the series that I could watch over and over again because it felt right, it felt really nice, and again, it's a good season. So there we go, Rangers. If you've liked this video, like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. Check out Yeah Games and all that lovely goodness, and as always, Rangers, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in a bit.